Coming up on UCF Nightly News. Find out more about the trial of Derek Chauvin, the police officer accused of killing George Floyd back in May of last year.
Also, learn more about how Florida Democratic leaders are pushing to pass a bill that would legalize recreational marijuana.
And we'll take a deeper look into Governor Ron DeSantis' new ban on vaccine passports. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Madison Little.
And I'm John Whitley. Today is Friday, April 9th, 2021.
Breaking news this morning, His Royal Highness Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, passed away peacefully at Windsor Castle. The prince was 99 years old and further announcements will be made in due course.
Democratic leaders in Florida are hoping to pass a bill that would legalize recreational marijuana for adults 21 and older. The proposed legislation would expand the use of marijuana across the state of Florida. Under the bill, a person can grow up to 6 plants for themselves and possess up to 2.5 ounces of marijuana for their own personal use. The bill is not on any committee hearings, but a constitutional amendment to legalize recreational marijuana could make its way to the 2022 ballot. Florida Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried says a move to allow adult recreational marijuana use could be good news for struggling farmers in the industry.
Student Health Services will vaccinate nearly 6,000 UCF students by the end of the day. Florida now allows the administration of the Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and Pfizer vaccines to residents who are 18 or older. UCF health officials say students should take advantage of the new available vaccines being offered. The university will continue to offer vaccines in the Pegasus Ballroom as part of a mass vaccination effort led by UCF. UCF health officials say they recommend getting vaccinated as soon as possible. And while vaccine appointments are full here at UCF, students can look at the county's website, orangecountyflorida.net, for more information.
Governor Ron DeSantis banned vaccine passports in Florida through an executive order. The order bans all local governments and state businesses from requiring proof of COVID-19 vaccination. The order says many Floridians haven't had the chance to get vaccinated, and some may even have immunity to the virus. The order notes certain people may not even be able to get vaccinated because of religious beliefs. DeSantis says requiring a vaccine passport may divide people into unwanted classes.
You don't want to create separate classes of citizens based on whether somebody received vaccine. You have people that had COVID that are deciding that they don't want it. You have others who are less risk. Maybe some others have other health conditions.
DeSantis says a government forcing of people to show they have been vaccinated to participate in normal activities is not acceptable.
A UCF study finds masks are more crucial than social distancing when reducing the spread of COVID-19. UCF researchers use a computer model to show airflow in classrooms. They found 6 feet rule is not needed when masks are present. They say they back the results from the CDC guidelines, which lower social distancing to 3 feet.
UCF may require all faculty, staff, and students to be vaccinated before returning to campus in the fall. This comes after the vaccine age requirement was lowered, granting vaccines to people 18 years or older. Nightly News reporter Jarrett Kappelman tells us what's in store for a return to in-person.
Now being offered to everyone 18 and up and some who are at least 16 years old, it raises a question for UCF administration. Students are wondering if everyone will be required to be vaccinated to return to a full campus setting next semester. Some universities are requiring everyone to be vaccinated to return. Schools such as Brown, Northeastern, and Nova Southeastern are part of many that are. UCF has over 70,000 students, which requires a lot of vaccines that may not be in supply. UCF nursing student Seren Ozulu says she is vaccinated, but does not know if it is realistic to have every student vaccinated by next fall.
It takes about 80 to 90% of people getting vaccinated to achieve that herd immunity. And I know a lot of people go home for break over summer, so I'm not quite sure how realistic it would be.
With the vaccine becoming more available, we see in this graph from the CDC that new cases are going down. However, with spring break and summer coming up, Ozulu isn't sure that UCF should rush back to a full return.
because UCF is such a large university, there's a lot of students that live on campus or close to campus or that attend physical classes. I think that considering all that, UCF should still be remote or at least give the option.
UCF Director of Media Relations Heather Smith says the university is highly recommending faculty, staff, and students to get the COVID vaccine offered through the university. For now, it is unclear if UCF will mandate the vaccine for people returning to campus next semester. In Orlando, Jared Kappelman, UCF Nightly News.
With spring break right around the corner, starting on Monday, the university will remain closed on campus for the remainder of the semester in hopes of limiting the spread of COVID-19 on campus and allowing more in-person classes to be available to students for the fall semester.
UCF will offer another round of relief funds for students. The Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund is now open once again for eligible students. To be eligible, students must submit an error-free 2020-2021 FAFSA form prior to applying for the relief fund. The max amount a student can receive is $1,000. Junior Ad PR major Ashley Gonzalez said it is great UCF is helping out students again in the middle of a pandemic that has caused many financial burdens.
Even as the pandemic's kind of starting to slow down, because the whole point of this kind of thing is consistency. And a lot of people are still struggling with that. And so I think it's good for UCF to kind of show that they're still thinking of us.
Students who already received the award in March will not be eligible. The application for the grant will be open until midnight on Sunday, April 11th.
The trial of Derek Chauvin, the police officer accused of killing George Floyd, is currently in action. The trial started on March 29th and is expected to take at least 1 month. Chauvin is charged with second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. Floyd died in May 2020 after Chauvin placed his knee on Floyd's neck while he pleaded, "I can't breathe," sparking many political uproars in the nation. Kent Butler, UCF Interim Chief Equity, Inclusion, and Diversity Officer, says he is not watching the trial.
Doing that, I guess, in a sense, to protect myself from, being inundated with it. I try to not watch the footage of the death.
12 jurors who will remain anonymous throughout the televised trial will decide whether Chauvin should serve time in prison or be acquitted.
Volunteer UCF is hosting a bracelet making event this Sunday to raise awareness for domestic violence. Researchers say 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men experience domestic violence. And following the start of the pandemic, domestic violence increased by 8% in the U.S. Students have the opportunity to come together and make bracelets for victims, loved ones, or even themselves. Bracelets will be sent in self-care bags to the Domestic Violence Center's Safe House in Seminole County. The Safe House rescues and houses hundreds of domestic violence victims each year. The event will take place in the Lake Claire Recreation Area from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
A former UCF administrator is suing the university over allegations of racism. Bryant Coleman says a coworker called him a racial slur in 2018. Coleman claims his supervisor told him his career would be ruined if he complained. He was fired for misconduct in 2019 and is suing $100,000. UCF spokesman Mark Schloop says the claims are not credible. UCF, along with Seminole County State and Valencia College, continue to seek funding for 8 Metro Orlando projects. The 3 colleges are seeking a combined total of more than $20 million of in-state funding from Florida legislature. The colleges make up to 8 projects with bills tied to them. UCF is proposing a bill to the House which would provide more than $1 million toward a Restore mental health clinic for veterans and first responders. Another UCF bill requests $6 million to help UCF form an infection disease initiative, creating 12 new faculty positions. A project is not guaranteed to receive funds, but can be pitched during future legislative sessions.
16 Knights are celebrating after being named to the National Science Foundation of Graduate Research Fellowship, the most in UCF history. The fellows were chosen for their achievements in the STEM field by the NSF to participate in a 5-year program. They will receive an annual stipend of $3,400 as well as $12,000, which can be used toward tuition. Recipients have opportunities for research and professional development. One fellowship recipient, Kelsey Perez, says she will use the money to research the effects of climate change.
Want to do in the grad program is analyze like how infrastructure is affected by climate change and like especially like on bridges or coastal areas, how like corrosion is affecting like what we plan on like doing next, like different materials.
Perez recommends taking advantage of the opportunities UCF gives. She says she credits UCF for helping realize she could apply for the program.
Giulia, I'm hoping to lay by the pool when I get home today. Can I expect to get some sun?
Well, John, looks like it'll be a great day to hang by the pool today. Currently, we're at 71 degrees with humidity of 71%. Winds are blowing southwest at 8 miles an hour, and there's a 0% chance of rain. That's all the time I have for you now. Back with you, Matison and John.
After the break, learn more about what a group at UCF does to prepare for a web competition.
Find out more about how Facebook users are worried after a big data leak spilled out this week.
And I'll tell you how summer can have an effect on some people's mental health. Most of us can't wait for summer, but for others, this time of year brings anxiety and stress. I'll tell you what the word summer means for those struggling with body dysmorphia. Nightly News wants to warn you that this may be a sensitive topic for some viewers.
More than 500 million Facebook users' data have been leaked online, including CEO Mark Zuckerberg's cell phone number. The leaked data includes users' full name, location, birthday, email addresses, phone number, and relationship status. The information is being posted on a website used by hackers. Senior computer science major Giulia Garcia says cybersecurity experts have now created secure sites that allow people to see if their information is being leaked.
There's actually a website called haveibeenpawned.com that lets you know if your information has leaked on the web. I put my email down on the website and it showed that my data has breached about 5 times already, as you can see here.
Cybersecurity experts say anyone whose information could have been exposed should keep their eyes open for potential scams.
A national title may be on the horizon for a group here on campus. The UCF cybersecurity team will have a chance to win it all this semester. Nightly News reporter Cliff Tumatel tells us more on what this team is researching to prepare for a global competition.
The UCF cybersecurity team is heading to the national competition after claiming a regional title last weekend. The competition is all about defense. The team must defend a system against professional hackers. During the pandemic, the team says they faced a lot of obstacles because they couldn't work together in person. But now, they feel comfortable and have set their sights on winning the national competition. UCF professor Thomas Nederos is the club's advisor, and he says the most important thing is gaining recognition from the competition.
National level, they're all excellent. I always say, any one of those teams can win it. It's just who makes the fewest mistakes and who can recover from their mistakes the quickest.
Nederos says that in the past, the winners visited some federal agencies such as the FBI to learn more about cybersecurity.
Although the competition is virtual, the team is still looking for a win. They even received some donations from their sponsors and equipment such as headsets to get them excited for the cyber competition.
Senior computer science major Caitlin Garcia is one of the 2 females on the team. She graduates this semester and says that when her club received the headsets, she couldn't contain her happiness. The headsets make practice a lot easier for the team.
They bought us pro gamer headsets to make remote practice better, and it's really cool. It's like the best headset I've ever had. So they do like little things, and like they listen to what we say that we need, or like what's a problem.
Garcia says although UCF does not have a full-fledged cybersecurity degree, she is proud to see the club compete with other universities that do. She says that she hopes that UCF will continue to be in the top 3 like the past 3 years in a national event, and one day use her skills for a company. In Orlando, Cliff Tumatel, UCF Nightly News.
Nederos says the reward is just a trophy, and the most important thing is gaining recognition for their work from the competition. Nightly News will keep you updated on their progress. When we come back, find out how UCF students' stroll on campus turned into a viral TikTok video after running into a fruit tree.
We'll tell you more about how a doctoral student looks to discover faraway planets.
And learn how UCF biologist is researching plants in hopes of reducing pesticides.
A UCF student researcher uses machine learning or artificial intelligence to understand faraway planets. Doctoral candidate Michael Himes studies planets that are light years away. He uses machine learning to better understand their atmosphere. Himes says the research could have a large impact on the future of understanding the universe and detecting life. Himes inputs millions of data points about known faraway atmospheres. By doing so, he is teaching the computer model what different planets' atmosphere look like from Earth. Given the distance of planets, current telescopes only provide low-quality images. Applying his research to the image, Himes can help pick up unknown features.
A UCF biologist receives a grant of more than $400,000 to help investigate sustainable food supplies. UCF biologist Chase Mason says the project focuses on determining genetics that trigger a plant's natural chemical defense against harmful pathogens. The grant was awarded by the Foundation for Food and Agricultural Research. Mason says the goal is to find out how to trigger plant defense, which reduce the reliance on pesticides used in the farm industry.
Host plant resistance is sort of the cornerstone of that. If you have a resistant host plant, a crop variety that doesn't have to worry about a particular pest or pathogen, you don't need to worry about all the other things quite as much.
Mason says his research is just a step in the right direction to learning more about plants, makeup, and reducing pesticides.
UCF students continue to gain a following on TikTok after uploading a video of herself eating fruit she found on campus. Yvette Polanka says she was walking around campus on a sunny afternoon when she noticed a tree that had some strange yellow fruit on it. She decided to film herself eating the fruit and upload it to a viral social media app, TikTok. Her video continues to trend with more than 150,000 views. Polanka says she was shocked by her unexpected fame, and it was shockingly sweet.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that tree looks like it has fruit on it. So I got up to it and I was like, oh my gosh. And I have this app on my phone that you take a picture of a plant and it'll tell you what it is. And it told me it was edible. So I was like, okay, well, I have to try it. So I took one and then I put it in my bag and I was like, okay, after class, I'm going to eat this and I'm going to record so I could cause I was just going to send it to my sister or something and be like, oh, I found this fruit. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I didn't expect that much because I was like, oh, it's just this random fruit on this tree, but it was so good.
You can find these fruit trees around the Nicholson School of Communication and the Recreational Center. And although we are closing in on the end of the semester, Nicholson student media is not slowing down. NSM's Today and editor-in-chief, Emily Hernandez, is here to tell us all about this week's story. Emily, besides fruit trees, what's happening on the web?
Thanks, guys. This week on NSM, check out how COVID-19 may have helped UCF reach its Climate Action Plan goal. Also learn more about how Governor Ron DeSantis pushed for cruises to set sail this summer due to the vaccine being easily available. UCF also found itself ranked second in the nation for their Emergency and Crisis Management Program, earning a spot right above Harvard. And in sports, keep tabs on UCF men's tennis as they climb the national rankings, sitting at number 9. In UCF softball, the Knights had their 6-game winning streak snapped by the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. That's all I have for you this week. Check us out on the web at nsm.today.
Thank you so much, Emily. If you want to know more about these stories and see what else is happening in the UCF community and the Central Florida area, visit the nsm.today website.
I don't know about you, Giulia, but I'm really looking forward to finally having our spring break and maybe having a picnic on the beach. What are my chances of getting some sun next week?
Well, John, it looks like you'll definitely be able to go to the beach at least a couple of days next week. Let's take a look at Florida's highs and lows. In Tallahassee, the high is 90, and in Jacksonville, it's 83. In Orlando, the high is 88, and in Tampa, it's 87. In down south of Miami, it cools down a little bit with the high of 77. Looking at the lows, in Tallahassee, it's 65. Jacksonville, it cools down a little bit to 60. In Tampa, it's 66, and here in Orlando, it's 65. Down south in Miami, the low gets up to 73. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast, on Saturday, the high is 90 with the low of 69 and a 30% chance of rain. On Sunday, the high is 81 with the low of 65 and a 70% chance of rain. On Monday and Tuesday, the chance of rain is at 0%. The high on Monday is 84 and the low is 62. On Tuesday, the high is 85 with the low of 65. And on Wednesday, the high is 88 with the low of 68 and a 20% chance of rain. That's all the time I have for you now. Back to you, John and Madison.
When we come back, learn more about where a former UCF coach will make his mark after leaving UCF.
We will take a look at UCF Volleyball and how they are set on winning a big title. And find out what fans can expect from the first UCF football spring game of the season.
Hey Knights fans, I'm Sean Green and here is your UCF Sports Update. Nightly News reporter John Whitley tells us what to expect from the first spring game of the season.
The Knights take the field tomorrow at noon, where the first-team offense will take on the first-team defense. The team will look very different as they are replacing several starters. Some declared for the 2021 NFL Draft, while others graduated or entered the transfer portal. Coach Matison says the players can't wait to play in front of a crowd.
We'll have a gold group and a black group, and we'll put the ball down and play. It'll just be regular football, and field goals be 3 and touchdowns be 6 and extra points be 1, and let our guys play in front of a crowd. I know our guys are really excited about that.
Matison says it is very important they have a good turnout from the fans on Saturday, as the players have worked extremely hard this spring. UCF sophomore defensive back Devonta Brown says he's excited to build on the lessons he learned in year 1 after starting 4 games at cornerback.
So coming into this year, having experience under my belt, I feel like that's going to help me, just knowing situations and stuff like that. I feel like that's going to play a big role for me this year.
Tomorrow will be the first game in the bounce house since UCF Athletics began allowing 50% capacity. There will still be no tailgating permitted on campus. In Orlando, John Whitley, UCF Knightly News.
That's all the time we have for sports this week. As always, charge on. Now back to Madison and John.
That's all the time we have. Thank you for watching.
And charge on.